Hello everyone, this is grade 6, module 1, lesson 21, problem set. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some conversions using ratios. So let's take a look at the first one, and we see that it says 7 feet equals blank inches. So I have to go to my conversion chart, and I have two of them here, and I'm going to pull them up so you can see them. And I see the conversion right here. 1 foot equals 12 inches. And I'm going to use that one because I'm going from feet to inches. So that'll be the easiest one for me when I'm working with whole numbers. So I'm going to set this up. 7 feet. And I'm going to multiply it by the ratio. And when I set this up, I know I'm going to have a fraction for my ratio. And when I set this up, because I was given 7 feet, I want to try my best to get the feet diagonal from each other. And I'll show you what I mean here. So I have 1 foot equals 12 inches, or 12 inches equals 1 foot. So I'm going to put the 1 foot on the bottom. So they're diagonal. I have feet here, I have feet here. And then the 12 inches goes on top. This is so I can cross off my units. And the 1 here is just over 1. There's no unit with it. So now, all I have to do is multiply across. I have 7 times 12, which is 84. And 1 times 1 is 1, so I get 84. And when I'm looking for my units, I know that they're inches because it's right over here in my problem. But also I know it because I crossed off feet, and I'm left with inches. So the number or the units that they're giving us in the problem is going to help me with my setup for this one. So when I take a look, we'll look at 3 now. We're into the metric, and I do have the metric conversion off to the right of that. 25 meters equals how many centimeters? So I'm going to write 25 meters, and I know immediately I'm going to put it over 1, and I'm going to multiply it by my ratio of meters and centimeters. So I have right here a conversion. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So when I set this up, I know meters are on top over here, so I want 1 meter down here. I want them diagonal so I can cross those units out. And then I'm left with 100 centimeters on top because there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. It's just nice to get them diagonal like that so I can cross those off. If I flip these two around, I'm not going to get the right answer for it. So it's really important that I have that set up correct. Now I can multiply across. 25 times 100 is 2,500. 1 times 1 is 1. And I'm left with 2,500. And my units, since I crossed off meters, are left right there for centimeters. So 2,500 centimeters. Okay, we're going to start moving just a little bit quicker as we go through this. Let's go to 5, and this is ounces to pound. And I have my conversion for that one. I don't need the chart for it, and I don't have that chart on here. But I know that the conversion is 16 ounces equals 1 pound. So I'm going to set this up, 96 ounces, and I'm putting it over 1 because I'm going to multiply by a ratio. Now I want to get the ounces diagonal from each other. So I'm going to put my ounces down here. So that would be my 16 and my 1 pound up top. So notice that I have the 1 pound equals 16 ounces. That's different than the last two that we did. So ounces are crossed off. And I get 96 times 1 is 96. And 1 times 16 is 16. Now I have a fraction greater than 1, and I can simplify that down by doing 96 divided by 16. So I'd actually put that in there and divide that out, and I'm going to end up with 6. And again, my units, I crossed off ounces, I'm left with pounds. So it would be 6 pounds. Let's slide down to 7 now. And I'm going to take my charts with me in case I need them. 7 says 2 miles equals how many yards. And again, I'm going to put this conversion down. It's on my conversion chart. But 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. So I'm going to set up my first part, which is 2 miles. And I'm going to put it over 1, and I'm going to multiply it by my ratio. And I know if I have miles right here, I'm going to have miles down below. So that's where my 1 mile goes. That's so I can cross off, do my cross canceling on my units. And I'll put 1,760 yards on top. So my miles cross out. And 2 times 1,760 will get me 3,520 over 1, which just gets me 3,520. And again, my units, since I crossed off miles here because I was able to do that, I'm left with just yards. Because again, this 1 doesn't have a set of units. It's just making my 2 miles a fraction. So that's where I'll put down my 3,520. I'm going to do one more because I want to go. I want to do another one with smaller units like milliliters going to larger units. So I have my 1,500 milliliters, and before I even get my conversion, I'll get it set up, and I know I'm using a ratio for my conversion for this one. And this is going to be my conversion for it, which is capacity. And I know that my conversion is 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So I have to make sure that my milliliters are on the bottom here because my milliliters were on the top here. And again, I want to be able to cross cancel those units out. And now I have my 1 liter on top. So when I multiply this, 1,500, and then I have 1,000 there that I then need to solve out, so I can go through and I can actually divide that out. And I know immediately I can cross off those. So 15 tenths, I can either put it as a fraction or I can do it as a decimal. And I know that's going to be 1 5/10 because when I divide by 10, all my digits are shifting to the right, 1 decimal place on the place value chart. And so I'm left with 1 5/10 liters because I crossed off my 2 milliliters. Okay, we're going to slide down now, and we'll do 2 of these down below. So we'll start with 11. And again, I'm going to slide this over. I'm going to slide these conversion charts off to the side. I wanted to bring those in for the first part, but I don't think I need them now. So 11 says, Bo buys a 3-pound bag of trail mix for a hike. He wants to make 1-ounce bags for his friends with whom he is hiking. How many 1-ounce bags can he make? So the big thing for 11 to start is we're going from pounds to ounces. And I know he's got 3 pounds, so I can write that down. And my conversion for pounds to ounces is 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So I got to multiply this by my ratio. And I'm going to put my 1 underneath the 3 pounds. And I know that pounds have to go on the bottom for my second because I have pounds on the top here. So that's where my 1 goes. And that means my 16 will go on top, and that's ounces. I can now cross off my units to show me that I'm looking for ounces here. because that's what's left. 3 times 16 is 48. 1 times 1 is 1, which means I'm at 48 ounces. And the reason why I always show this multiplication straight across, the 1 times 1 is 1, is because up above, that was not the case. We didn't always get 1 times 1 is 1. Sometimes we got a number where we had to eventually divide this part out. But we can do that division of 48 divided by 1 in our head. So we're left with 48 ounces. So 48 ounces, meaning 48 1-ounce bags. So there's no other conversion to go along with that. And the last one we'll take a look at, we'll do 13. Claudia's skis are 150 centimeters long. And it says how many meters is this. So the first thing we have to do is figure out centimeters to meters. And I know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So I'm going to put my 150 centimeters over 1. I know I'm multiplying it by my conversion, my ratio. And I want centimeters on the bottom. So I get 100. And I cross off my 2 centimeters. And my 1 meter's on top. And I know my units are meters because this is the conversion. This is just what I'm given. I'm given 150 centimeters. I put it over 1 to make it a fraction. So 150 times 1 is 150. And then 100 times 1 is 100. So this is where we wanted to show 1 times 1 is 1 up here, because I don't want to get into the habit of leaving nothing down there, because this is 1 times 100. So now I see I have to divide. And again, when I divide by 100, it's just moving these digits, these 3 digits, over 2 places on the place value chart. And I'll show that real quick, because I think this will help out. So here's the hundreds, tens, ones. I have 150. And I want to show this just in case we've forgotten that our decimal goes in there. And I'm going to kind of scribble that out to show me that's not a place value. And now I have tenths and hundredths. And when I divide by 10, it only jumps 1 place. So that's divided by 10. But I'm 100, so I'm going right here. So they're each going to jump 2 places to the left. So my 5 is here, my 0 is here, and my 1 is right here. So I'm left with 1 decimal point 5 0. Or 1 5/10 meters. And the reason why it's meters again is because of our canceling of the 2 centimeters here for units. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your problem set.